Sleep TV.
In your bio, you said Stephen. I don't know what you.
Oh, the Stephen A. Smith
rap game.
Yeah.
What you mean by that?
So Stephen A. Smith, for those of y'all who don't know, is a analyst on ESPN, and top paid at that.
Yeah, man, they get him in the bag. Shout out to Stephen A.
Yeah, doing his thing on First Take, and they got, to me, I feel like one of the best like debate shows out, like for sports wise anyway, or really just period, any debate, but definitely on sports. And I feel like Stephen A, like he always has like his really hot takes, and he's really passionate about like the shit he say.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like how when I go back and listen to myself sometimes, I feel like that's what I come off as like a lot, or like I think when we was like battling over Uzi, because I don't think you was a fan of Uzi at first.
Yeah, no, I wasn't a big fan.
And yeah, he used to try and trash Uzi, and I used to just be I used to be going so hard. I wasn't gonna have it, and so I was just like super passionate about. But that's just me in general. Like I'm a real passionate person about like anything that I'm gonna do and say. So that's why I put that in the bio.
That's gonna make some people like question something. I think it can like draw some people like towards like them looking your bio. You know? That's what I think. But then I don't remember exactly which podcast episode it was. You know, like I said, I did listen to a handful of. I listened to probably about 7, 8. Not all the way through. Probably about 20 minutes here, 30 minutes there, 40 minutes there.
That's usually how it is.
Like, real?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nobody's gonna listen to that all the way through, like in one sitting. I don't think.
Really, I didn't know that.
They used to be long. We used to do like what?
It was one that was like an hour and 15 minutes. I swear.
Yeah, bro.
There's been longer ones than that.
Like you ain't gotta listen to it all the way through. Like, you can stop it.
Well, no. So it was one thing that you said in a podcast, and you said that the rapper thing is not for you, right? But you say that you said that you know more about music than these rap niggas.
I feel like that. I really do.
What makes you say that?
But cause just based off the moves that a lot of these niggas be making, and like shit, like for instance, like you be posting a lot of these niggas that be mad at you because they didn't make the list, and this, that, and the third, and I'm like, why would you go trash a publication just because you didn't make a list? Like it don't make sense. Like, and that's just like on the business tip, but I feel like the business tip is so much of like the game, really. Like rapping is like the very like main ingredient, but like if your business is not right, then you are fucked.
Yeah.
And like business goes outside of like just paperwork. That's like relationships, cause like I'm sure like a lot of times you be feeling like nigga, fuck you then, nigga. I don't gotta cover your ass, nigga. Or at least I would if niggas come at me sideways, cause I know you got a lot of internet thugging ass niggas in your comments, so I'm sure I might get some heat coming my way. But
it's good stupid.
I'm just letting you know my opinion.
I ain't gonna go into like with the FU cover that, but I'm gonna keep it real. Yeah. Like anybody that never tried to trash my brand just because like they didn't make a list, which is something like that's childish. Like I think if you rap right and you mad about like a list, like you like seriously mad about it, like making threats and all that type of stuff, you don't need to be rapping, because you don't need to try rapping, because when you get bigger, if you get bigger, all that hate and all this doubt or whatever, it's gonna be 10 times more. Like, 10 times more. Yeah. So, yeah, that's true. But and then you saying, so you saying that business is like the main part of music too?
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna say it's the main part, but it's
not the main part, but like the majority of it. Yeah. I'm gonna keep it real. I agree. But can you explain to the people watching like why you say that?
Like, I mean, cause I'm still learning a lot of shit still now. So when I say that but I mean, you feel me? I'm confident in myself, so you feel me? I gotta back my shit up. But like, it's like if you can sign a contract. So like, for instance, niggas be wanting to sign $1 million contracts and all this, that, and the third, but like, what you don't know is that's really just a loan that you gotta pay back to that company. So yeah, you got $1 million at this point, but you still gotta pay them back for all of that. And then little do you know, like, you may be out on the road, then you might have to pay for your tour bus or your Sprinter van, and pay for all your niggas to come on in 4 or 5 hotel rooms and shit.
Yeah.
And that's like money coming out of your pocket. So you think you done made all this money and you out of your deal, but really, and you look in the contracts and then you're not hot no more, and then they want to shelf you.
Right, and when like if the real price is to make it, like if that's what your real goal is, like
for instance, like when Rich the Kid was talking about Uzi being mad at his contract and shit, and he was like, nigga, I tried to sign you, and Uzi came back and was like, yeah, nigga, ain't nobody trying to sign for $20K. But it's like, nigga, if you would have signed for $20K, nigga, you probably would have been on, because like Uzi was popping, I feel like, regardless.
Yeah.
So I don't know when,
if you're good,
I don't know
enough,
when Rich the Kid
you can
offered him
with
that. But $20K ain't nothing to make. I mean, I feel like if you doing your shit right, $20K shouldn't be nothing to make that back.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, nigga, you just in the green from there.
And it's what do you really want out of it? Because I really feel like if you're doing music, are you doing it for the money? Because you got to spend money to make money. So if you're not willing to, like, the bag that they supposedly give you, which is really a loan, like, is it worth it? Like, are they really paying you enough for this? Like, for what you really get back, niggas only really, like, the real big guys, not even, I'm not going to say the huge rappers, if we really want to go just music with it, the big rappers, they'll tell you, you'll get most of your money on tour. The exposure end of it, the tour is really just the very end of all of what you've done. Now you're singing your songs to everyone and performing them. You've already put the work in, you've already paid the right people to get your shit out there. Like, you can't do it alone. Sony can help you. Sony will give you a little 50, maybe not 50, I don't even know how much Sony will give you, but you know, Sony's even here in Nashville.
Machines.
Yeah, they'll give you a machine. The machine a real thing.
We're talking about the streaming stuff that you be talking about?
Yeah, I've seen those things.
What, those real?
The streaming farms?
Yeah, I've seen a room full of cell phones. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you could talk about where that's at, but like, how, like, what, so they just have like a room full of phones playing a song or something?
Nah, it's not even a song. Like, you can't even hear anything that's playing on them. It's like, it's a bunch of phones in the room and a bunch of different songs or something playing on them, and it's not even here. It's in like Asia or some shit I've seen it in, like, yeah.
What the hell? Okay.
It's a streaming machine.
I've heard about that, but I ain't never just like, what, so you seen one before?
I mean, there's videos of
Oh,
it.
the videos of them. Mm-hmm. I don't heard about that. But you know, you hear everything on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
So I
I mean, you gotta look. If it's really peculiar, I want to see it in my face. And even if it is a video, that doesn't look edited. That looks like a bunch of phones playing
for real.
music. So on mute, probably. Maybe there wasn't any sound in the video.
Okay. So what you said about the loans, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of people think these rappers make it whenever they sign like $1 million deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
When, I mean, you know, like you said, they really borrowing the money. And a lot of people, like, they trashed Rich the Kid for trying to sign Lil Uzi for $20K, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then another situation where actually a while back, Boosie tried to sign Kodak, I think, for the same exact thing, $20K.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually the smarter move. Like, that's actually the smarter move to sign for less money, because that's less money you gotta pay back, and then after that, that's what you make. You feel me? What you got to say? What's your thoughts on like the people that trash these rappers that actually do, you know, sign these real low deals? Which, I mean, they do. They just don't talk about it because, like, you know, they think it's gonna hurt their brand or whatever. Versus the people that, you know, sign for $1 million and like they think that that's it, but really like they in the hole for real for a lot.
I mean, I feel like you just gotta let let the music decide. Cause I mean, like you said, it is guys out there signing for 20K and probably not saying nothing because they feel like it's gonna hurt their brand. And I mean, to me, I feel like it's usually just a slower grind. And I mean, just because you're not out there with like getting that big headline, like so and so signed $1 million deal with yada 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 whatever label. So I feel like that's the only difference. 'Cause I mean, like since I don't really know like what's really going on, like I don't really care that somebody signed for $1 million. Like that don't mean nothing to me. Like what your music talking about.
Right.
And I mean, it costs money to do shows and shit like that and to get your music out there. But 20K for you just starting out, I understand you may have put your experience in it and shit like that, but this is a little long for you to get your music out there and you can do something with that. It's not nothing, so.
So if a rapper, I say if you made music, right?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody offered you like sign you for 200 versus like 30, you would take the 30.
I mean, depending on what I mean, obviously, you know, there's other shit that goes inside of the contracts and shit like that, like splits and whether or not it's a 360, which means they're gonna be making a little bit off of everything that you do. Which I mean, I don't know. It depends on also, you know, whether you got the leverage and what type of leverage you got in your city or just your region and all type of different stuff. So I mean, I can't say that like just strictly based off a number, but
I feel you.
yeah.
Kind of just a question I just thought of in my head.
Yeah.
But okay, so you didn't like Uzi at first.
Yeah,
Did
no.
you like him after? Like what, he growing you or something? Or
Man, I didn't even give Uzi a chance, to be honest with you. When I first was saying I didn't like Uzi, I would only listen to like one or two songs, and I was like, and it was really nothing I had ever heard before. Like Uzi was the first Uzi, so I don't know. He just grew on me. I started listening to him more. I saw how I really don't catch on to people until they get big. Like if they're not from here, so. You gotta, he knows about shit that's really underground. Like, my hand isn't as underground as his, but you know.
I mean, but that was
like, Uzi, I don't know, Uzi had a following. Uzi had a following at the time he was trying to get me on the Uzi, but I guess he had to really pop for me to like pay attention. And I wasn't willing to pay attention. But now I listen, you know what I'm saying? I listen to him and I'm subjective with it. And I see that, you know, I fuck with him now. I like his perspective. I like where he coming from and how he do it.
Which verse was it? The Bad and Bougie verse?
No. That wasn't bad. It was before Bad and Bougie. I don't even remember what song it was. I can't give him a milestone song. You know what I'm saying? I really just started hearing him everywhere. You know, you hear Lil Uzi Vert everywhere these days.